Greetings. This is a tutorial on how to adjust the settings in the test option in Blackboard for quizzes and exams for any student who has an accommodation that allows them to have an extension of time on tests or quizzes. So from the first page of your course in Blackboard, you're going to navigate to course content and then just go down and find your quiz or exam. Then select Edit the Test Options feature, and then it pulls up the test editor. As there should be a list of all questions and answers and such elsewhere. This is just the information itself of the background controlling information for how the exam or quiz behaves. So you're going to scroll down toward the bottom, and one important thing is that in order for them to have extended time, there has to be a forced completion option selected. If there's no forced completion option selected, there's no time for the test, and so the feature won't work. So make sure that the forced completion option is selected, and then set the timer. A lot of times that's blank as well. You'll set the timer for whatever you want. So if you're going to have 60 minutes, let's say 10, most students are going to do the quiz in 10 minutes long without a problem. So then you're going to scroll down here to this category called Test Availability Exceptions. That is the area where you're going to add users that will have the option to have extra time. So first thing that you do is you click the Add User or Group, and it's going to drop down a list of the students. You can choose one or any other number of students for whom the accommodation applies, and it'll list them all here. For FERPA-related reasons, I already have this one selected. But once you select it, it'll come back to this screen, and if you forget what you need to have selected up here in order for the option to come down here to change the exam time, then it's explained in this section as well. That the timer and forced completion must be enabled in the previous test availability step to enable those settings for exceptions. So once you have each student listed, you just go through and you make your choices based on what the accommodation is. Specifically here, you want to have the timer selected. If that's not selected, then that's essentially not allowing them to have any timing whatsoever. So if it was 10 minutes for most students, and say the student has double time, that would be 20 minutes. So you select the 20 minutes, and your other options, if you want it to be forced completion when they're done, when the timer goes off, it submits it, or if you want it to auto-submit when they're finished or when the time's up, then you can select those options. But once you've entered the amount of time you are giving the student, this isn't time additional, this is the full amount of time they're going to have for the quiz or for the exam. Once that's listed there, you've finished the job and you can submit it. And once submitted, when the student pulls it up, they should be able to have the additional time that they need for that. I hope this was valuable and informational. Best of luck as you work with your students.